What's up, my pilots? Angryponcho, you're back playing Let's Battle Blaze back. This episode we are challenging the final member of the Elite Four. Well, I guess it's, you know, of the actual four, if you're not counting the champion or anything. Alright, so this is going to be the fighting type Elite Four member. And honestly, coming into this, I expected this one to be the hardest. And I think that's a fair assumption. Fighting type Pokemon are kind of kick-ass, and my team as a whole is not particularly strong against fighting types. So I'm hoping that Daedalus's bounce won't constantly miss, and that Nacrak's fly will be powerful enough despite not having a stab. So I'm coming into this battle with some reservations here, but if worst comes to worst, I can switch into some Pokemon that don't get stab bonuses, but just kind of have to deal with it when it comes to it. I gotta say, the fighting type guy has a weird setup here. He has sort of this industrial trolley, I guess you could call it, pulling us up here, and then he has a boxing ring at the top. It's weird. They don't seem to go together. His name's Marshal. And he's the first one I think who mentions Alder. I don't know if he's the only one who actually trained under Alder, or if he's just the only one who feels like mentioning him, because the rest of them are talking about whatever gimmick it is that makes their area interesting. You know. Alright. And look at this, he brings out Throw and Sock. I think that's kind of an interesting pair to start with for a fighting type guy. I mean, I would imagine that most of the people that challenge him, he defeats their entire team with just these two guys. They seem like the perfect duo of fighting type Pokemon. But probably because they're made to go together, they complement each other's weaknesses. And so, just like I said at the beginning here, we're going to be doing Fly and Bounce. So the first turn here, we're going to be bouncing up into the air. I like how it starts out with both my Pokemon just going up into the air. And they're just like, oh, we're going to use Close Combat and Facade. And it's like, nope, nothing happened there. And here, again, he's using I think we've seen this in the previous Pokemon. He's using a Flame Orb to burn himself in order to raise his attack via the Guts ability. Which is, I guess, that's the best I can guess. There's no other reason I could see to burn yourself, because it halves your attack. And that Sock has Sturdy, and so it manages to stand up to that bounce attack, but it's, yeah, it's a Salak Berry that raises its speed there. For a second I thought it was like a Focus Sash thing that kept it alive, but no. Now here we are taking the shots from their turn after we bounced. And the Rough Skin is enough to finish off Sock, which is nice. We took it out in one turn, essentially, in that regard, despite the fact that it had Sturdy. That's how cool Rough Skin is. That burn is going to do some damage to Throw now. I had to suspect in the next turn that he's going to heal Throw. Oh, his heart is dancing. That's kind of weird. Anyway, so let's see what we can do here. I guess it's just going to be Earthquake time, so we can hit both of them. Just on the off chance that Throw doesn't get healed, but he does. Oh well. So now Daedalus is going to bounce back up, I do believe. And we'll see if we can, see, it's nice to have some Pokemon that are immune to ground-type moves on your team, so you can use that Earthquake in double battles without having to worry about it so much. But, you know, you win some, you lose some, and... Oh! Daedalus barely survives. Actually, less close than some other battles we've been in. Survives that Stone Edge, which is nice. And there he goes, just picking up a burn again. I'm just like, alright. Alright, let's see what this Earthquake can do. Finishes off Mine Shao. And Throw. Critical hit on the Throw, actually. That Earthquake's nice. Having Daedalus up in the air, not only is it flying type, but it's not even on the field, so there's no way that Earthquake's going to get anywhere near it. I wonder if Daedalus, or like any other Pokemon that was flying type, could learn Dig. Would it then be hit by Earthquake? Huh, I wonder. I don't know. Be interesting if they added that in. At least that much is true. Alright, so we got another bounce coming here. We're probably going to go for... we'll go for an Earthquake again. I really don't know why I went for Earthquake there. I should have gone for Fly. Would have been a good idea, but you know. Just the idea of being able to hit both of them at once seemed nice. And it pretty much guarantees Daedalus is going to get a one-hit KO on one of these Pokemon. And, oh, Icy Wind coming from Poliwrath, rather. Super effective. 4 times effective, actually. But it did not do much damage. I can only imagine that's because Icy Wind is a special attack and Poliwrath is a physical attacker. That and it's not a very powerful move. I think it's like 40 base damage. I don't know why I didn't remember even has that move on one of its Pokemon, but there you go. That's just that cookie crumble sometimes, right? So now what have we got coming from Knackback? Another Earthquake? Oh, it's Outrage time! See, I'm trying to, at this point, I realized I ran out of, what's it called? Extreme Speed with Knackback. And so I'm trying, that made me more aware of the fact that I have limited power points for these moves. So I'm trying to figure out what the best strategy is to not use them all up. And that's why I don't go for the bounce here. I figure, okay, I'll go for the Outrage instead. We had this one anyway, so no point. No point wasting one of my 2 bounces I have left. Gotta save those stab type moves, man. They're useful. And 2 attacks of Outrage is more than enough. And there we go. The battle I thought was going to be the hardest, we did the most successfully. Our Daedalus, we did not lose a single Pokemon in that battle. Not a single one of our Pokemon fainted. And those of you who are particularly observant will know we didn't even bring Ferrosteel out in these battles. We could have done that entire Elite Four with 5 Pokemon. So Ferrosteel, I'm sure, I haven't reported it yet, but I'm sure Ferrosteel will get a chance to shine when we take on the champion and the battles after. But for the first 4, we didn't even need him. Alright, that's it for this one. See you guys next time when we challenge the champion.